Well, thanks to Bob Iger, now we know that there's actually a second live-action Star Wars series heading to Disney+. Okay guys, so if you're not aware of what Disney Plus actually is, Disney Plus is going to be the Disney streaming service, their version of Netflix, their version of Hulu. You get the point, right? So Disney has been working on the streaming service for a while. That was their main purpose for buying Fox, so they have more content they can put on their streaming service because they really want to compete with Netflix, because right now Netflix is the king of streaming service, and Disney really wants to come out there and try to compete with them. Eventually they want to beat them, but that's not going to happen for a long time. So in order for them to do that, they had to put more content on their channel. That's why we're getting the Falcon Bucky series, the Scarlet Witch series, the Loki series. Then they announced the Star Wars live action series called The Mandalorian. Well, this past week, Bob Iger came out and announced a second Star Wars live action series on the streaming service, and that is the Cassian Andor series. And it's going to be a prequel, no doubt, because, spoiler alert, he dies in Rogue One, so it's going to take place before Rogue One. And this was the first time I was like, yes. Like, I was actually so happy when I heard this news. Now, I know a lot of people aren't big fans of Star Wars anymore. A lot of people were fans of Star Wars. They don't like what Disney's doing. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. Let's try to keep this thing civil. I actually really liked Rogue One. Rogue One, Rogue One's probably my top 5 favorite Star Wars films. I liked it was something different. I liked how they actually had the balls to do certain things in that movie, and I enjoyed it overall. And Cassian was the character that I really, really liked, but we didn't get to know much of him. And if you're a geek like me and you read all the novels, you know more about that character. You know that his parents were actually separatists. The separatists that fought against the Republic in the Clone Wars. It's fascinating that the separatists aligned themselves with the rebellion to take down the Empire. It's really fascinating. I hope when they do this live action show, they are able to explore more of Cassian's past. And I'm so happy that Diego Luna is coming back to reprise his role as Cassian, because I thought he did a fantastic job. And me personally, I thought it was a real waste of the way, you know, these characters just kind of went out and we're never going to see them again. Now, I don't think Jen Erso is going to show up at all, because if you read the novels, it kind of doesn't line up whatsoever. First of all, Cassian never meets Jen Erso until Rogue One, so their paths wouldn't cross unless maybe they bump into each other years beforehand. And right now, Jen Erso is just currently doing different things. She's on the run. She gets arrested. There's so many different things, so I don't think Jen Erso is going to show up, but I do think there's potential for other characters to show up. We might see Galen. We might see Krennic. I'm hoping we see Viden Ercio in this series, because it really lines up well. Right before the Battle of the Death Star, Iden Versio is a TIE pilot, so she could possibly show up in a TIE fighter. We might see a glimpse of her. We might see her in one episode. I also think that we're going to see like Mon Mothma. We're probably going to see Bail Organa. There's a lot of different things that we're going to probably be able to see within this show. And I'm really hoping that some of us book nerds will finally get people like maybe, you know, Ray Salone in there as you know, Captain Ray Salone, Commander Ray Salone, whatever her ranking is at that period of time, also in this show, because now this is a perfect time that you don't want to confuse movie watchers and the book readers, right? Because a lot of people go see the movies, they don't read the book, but a lot of people that read the books watch all of it. Now is the time to start sprinkling in all these little characters that you created in canon and start flushing them out. And there's so many different characters in that time period that you can add into this show that won't confuse the watcher, but it's a great nod to the people like me who read the novels. So when I heard this news, I am more excited for this than The Mandalorian. Mandalorian takes place 3 years after Return of the Jedi. There's some stuff they can do with that for sure. But I'm not a big Mandalorian fan. I like them fine, but I'm not a big Mandalorian fan. I'm like, oh my God, I don't pray at the altar of everything Mandalorian. So when they announced that, it didn't really affect me too much. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch it. Not a big fan of Mandalorian. But when they announced the Cassian Andor series, That's the one I got excited for because there's so much potential that they can do, and I'm really excited for that. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about the Cassian Andor series being announced for Disney Plus? Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.